quickly get live here. Actually, have a drink at the start of the stream this time. There's the Twitch notification. So make sure that everything is started up properly. This is YouTube, so we should be good. Don't have an email, but we should be good. Alright, so let's get right into things. So, me attempting to complete Pokemon with a Sun Current was just a joke. I may do it at some point in the distant future, but that is not how I'm starting out Pokemon challenges on this channel. The very first one I'm doing will be one that anyone can do with their copy of the game. No need for additional software or anything like that. First though, make a few changes. Let's do purple today. So, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through the game using only Pokemon that you can get through in-game trades in battle. There are a number of in-game trades available in this game. Only 4 before the Elite Four, but in the second part of the game there are a large number more and better ones. But this challenge is not going to... I can't get an in-game trade for a little bit, so we're just gonna start the challenge, get things going, and try not to take too long. Hello Dexy, welcome. Actually, let me look at my... I don't mind having that light, but it shouldn't be pointed towards me. Let me angle it a little bit. There, now there's some light in this room, but it's not shining directly at the screen. And let me know if the game is still too loud. I turned it down a lot since last time, but it might still be too loud. And there goes the light. Well. I should probably make sure that a lit lamp should not be on the ground. Yeah, now hopefully they'll stay. Now let's play some Pokemon. So, I will only be using in-game trade Pokemon in battle, but I will need HMs. So I'm going to take Totodile. That way I save myself having to catch a water type for Surf Pool and Waterfall. Also, my rival having Chikorita will make the second rival battle absolute nightmare. Alright, the other potions are probably going to be leaving. We do have to actually go back and talk to Ramon. The disadvantage to not using the randomizers, I wasn't able to set the attack speed to ridiculous levels. I will eventually be cutting this stream down into a video, but I need to have it all first. My plan for Pokemon challenges are to stream them and then download the streams and cut them down into shorter videos for people who don't want to watch the entire challenge with level. So we're going to just get to Mr. Pokemon's house as quickly as we can. Hopefully I won't have too many wild encounters. But if I do, I think I want to level up to that one time before I fight the rival, just so that I win that fight and get some money. I didn't see Sunshine last time. All we saw were Pidgeys. Sunshine is pretty cool. It also has foresight, so you can say normal type early in the game that can use that and hit ghost types. If I get one level with Totodile, I'll be confident that I can easily beat the rival. Unless you get supremely unlucky and or just run away from every wild Pokemon you see. Gold, Silver, Crystal, HeartGold, and Soul Silver, by extension, are quite possibly the games where it's easiest to beat your rival, because you can level up as much as you want before fighting them. Unlike the original games where you get your Pokemon and immediately are battling your rival. In those cases, you know, there's the free potion in your PC that you grab before battling them, but there's no PC-based item storage in this game. But you get the assistant in the lab, and then you can get a couple more along the way. You could even buy more if you wanted. I don't know why you would, but I almost never buy regular potions. Except for the run where I did run once where I did allow myself to heal at Pokemon centers. In that case, I bought some potions. Then there was a harder run where I didn't allow myself to heal at Pokemon centers or buy anything from marts. It was all sorts of nightmares. So the guide gent will show me around. He's wearing running shoes, so he's faster than me. But we'll be getting running shoes soon enough. You can heal at Pokemon centers, buy things from the marts. They don't sell Pokeballs yet, old man. Trainers and Pokemon says. He decided to tell me about water. And for some reason, his house is part of the tour. He jokes that he's giving you his running shoes, but now he's giving me a brand new pair. You can hold down the B button, or you can toggle it on the touch screen so that you're always running, which is what I will do. And now we can move faster. But we're not done yet. When you try to exit, he will load the map card into our Pokegear, so we now have a town map. Get out of the grass as quickly as possible, and accidentally move back into it. Ooh, a level 4 Pidgey. And we haven't healed it yet. Got crit. Oh, that's... Play around the crits. Always play around the crits. And since I haven't... Since I skipped the Pokemon Center. They're telling me, what hit points are. Well, that's never happened before. I've never blacked out before even making it to Mr. Pokemon's house. All because I pushed the arrow key in the wrong direction. I think the game knows that I fainted and it decided to just not give me wild battles through that grass. I don't know how the game is coded, but it seems like that's something they would do. The streamer that I like usually starts at noon. Started late today. I've gotten 2 Twitch notifications since the one that I went live. Other people who have gone live. One is playing Mario 64 and the other is playing Stardew Valley. Alright, I don't want to level up too much because I will have to catch the first Pokemon for an in-game trade, and I want to make sure that I'm not taking it out in one hit. I'm going to ignore the Apricorn guy and force him to come to me. I don't have any Apricorns because I don't have a box to carry them yet. Hand it over. And here's our free antidote in case a Weedle poisons me. But I'm playing HeartGold, so I'll be seeing Caterpie. And because it's not night, there are no Spinneracks yet either. So I can't be poisoned for a little bit. And one step away from exiting the grass and getting things going. The run doesn't really start until I get into Violet City. Presumably I could use any Pokemon I wanted up until that point. Free heal here. Now Professor Oak will talk. Skipping through dialogue as fast as I can because this is a Pokemon challenge, not a traditional Let's Play. And now my menu is nice and filled out. I have everything that will be on that menu. Since he brought me into this stream, I will change to my preferred rocket style of gear. I guess it's somewhat ironic that I'm switching to the Team Rocket logo when a Pokemon has just been stolen. So many wild battles. I'll wait until I get the bells. I went down to 0. So by per second speed. Alright, I didn't battle. I ran away from all the wild Pokemon, so I'm at full health. I'm trying to think of someone who would be a person or a type of person who would be extremely against trading. My rival is, I'll be doing in-game trades, so my rival would be someone who is not a fan of trades. I don't know what I clicked or tapped to make it pause for him. Since I'm already level 7, that won't give me a level up. Today is Friday, which means that I can get an item if I make it at least the Union Cave. Which shouldn't be too much of an issue. I should be able to make it that far at least. Though, doing this yesterday would have been the best day to do it. But I don't stream on Thursdays. Typically. I'll get the hidden item here if I can tap without moving. And I'll just give him his canon name. His actual canon name is Silver. That's the space instead of the yes, his name is Silver. Alright. Yes, I am innocent. Well, in this particular instant, I am innocent. Yes, I received the Pokedex. I will go ahead and talk to my mom so that she doesn't have to call me when I'm on my way to the next route. Yeah, save my money. And now we have our catching tutorial. The first Pokemon we catch will be a Bellsprout because that's what we need to trade to get the first in-game trade Pokemon and start the challenge officially. Now, like 30 minutes in the stream. Level 2 Rattata, go Meryl. I want some time for the randomizer to confirm Mewtwo and just demolish whatever Pokemon shows up in the catching tutorial. So, this in-game trade challenge is one that is easily accessible and replicatable for anyone playing the game themselves. The way the in-game trade Pokemon work is always the same name, always the same held item, nature, ability, IVs, it is all preset. There's no randomization in the in-game trade Pokemon. The only way you can make it different is through EVs and the moves you choose to teach it. And I guess held items as well. Our particular set of items. So I'm going to skip all of the non-required trainers on the way to Violet City because that's trainer boosted experience that I am wasting on a Pokemon that will not be battling in this run. There are a number of early challenges. Basically, until you beat the second gym, this challenge is rough. It won't seem rough immediately, but it will be. In Gold, Silver, and Crystal, it was a little bit easier because the first Pokemon I'm going to get is an Onix, and being a Rock type, it resists Faulkner's moves, and if you learn the Rock move with it, has super effective damage. Also in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you can skip Sprout Tower and all the Bellsprouts that have 4 times super effective Vine Whip inside. Because I am playing HeartGold, I will have to go through Sprout Tower with only Onix and the Bellsprouts with 4 times super effective Vine Whip. The only saving grace is because it is Generation 4, Vine Whip is currently a physical move, so it's dealing damage based on Onix's far superior physical defense opposed to its special defense. But still, 4 times super effective moves on a Pokemon that doesn't do a lot of damage with its own attacks will make things difficult. So I have to try and get at least a couple levels before I go in there. The other pitfall, though, is that because Onyx is a traded Pokemon, it will become disobedient and not listen to me. Which is why the challenge gets easier after you get the second badge, because then Pokemon up to level 30 will listen to you. And then also once I manage to defeat the second rival and get through the forest, I can get a additional Pokemon and start spreading the experience between them. So at that point it won't be too challenging to keep things going well. Alright, so I fought the one required trainer. Even if you choose to get the Pokeball, you can still go around behind Bugcatcher Wade. So in this grass, we need to find and catch a Bellsprout. Every Indian trade, except for one in the distant future, requires a specific Pokemon to be traded, and the person in Violet City wants a Bellsprout for his Onyx. Also, the traded Pokemon will be whatever level the Pokemon you trade away is. So I'll be getting a level 3 Onyx, assuming I don't take out this Bellsprout with a Super Switch. Actually, I better catch it in one ball, otherwise I'll black out again. Thank goodness. I might wipe in Sprout Tower once or twice, but let's at least get the Onyx before I wipe again. Alright, come here, get the Versus Seeker from Lyra. I'm not even going to bother healing the Bellsprout, I'm just going to trade it as is. Make sure it's not holding an item. I'm not even sure if Bellsprout can be holding an item, but it's not. If it is, it's probably something that's a 5% chance for them to carry. All of the in-game trade Pokemon will have an item, guaranteed. Same item. So we are trading Bellsprout for Onyx, and that will allow us to officially start. Bellsprout will be sent to Rudy. Bye bye, Bellsprout. Also, all of the traded Pokemon have amusing nicknames. So the trade complete. And we are left with no Bellsprout, but an Onyx. And this Onyx's name is Rocky. Very creative. Calling Onyx Rocky. And it is holding a Cherry Berry. Cherry Berries later. It's holding a Person Berry, which will heal a Pokemon's confusion if held. Yes, let's dance, because we can get started now. So, because I'm not allowed to use non-traded Pokemon, I will now deposit my Totodile, and we'll get it back out when I need TMs. Or HMs. Rather. So, this Onix is a hasty nature, which means its speed is up and its physical defense is down, making the Bellsprouts even more difficult to fight. It starts with the moves Mud Sport, Tackle, Harden, and Bind. It also has the Sturdy ability, which is absolutely horrible. In Generation 5 and later, it makes it so that the Pokemon cannot be taken out in a single hit. In Generation 4 and before, it only protects it from moves like Fissure and Sheer Cold, the moves that are already terribly inaccurate, but take you out in one hit. Those moves are typically not used by anyone in-game or in Wi-Fi, so the Sturdy ability is not terribly useful. Of course, Generation 4 Wi-Fi battles don't really happen anymore. But that's when I got interested in them, in Generation 4. Alright, so we will fight the bug catchers and Youngster Joey. A level 3 Caterpie, despite my relative weakness, should not be an issue. I can use Bind. Bind is different than it was in the first generation. It will do a little bit of extra damage each turn, but it doesn't prevent Caterpie from acting. I'll just use a String Shot. And traded Pokemon gain boosted experience over non-traded Pokemon, so we will see Onix growing quickly, which makes the level cap for obedience even more treacherous, that they level up faster than other Pokemon, getting to that point where they won't listen to you faster. At 2 badges, Pokemon up to level 30 will obey you. At 4 badges, Pokemon up to level 50. 6 badges up until 70. And when you have all 8 badges, every Pokemon will obey you. Going above that level doesn't mean that you can't progress at all. It just means that they won't necessarily do what you tell them to do. So, most of the, at least the early Bellsprouts in the tower are level 3. Or some later in the tower they're level 6, and those are the ones that I'm mostly worried about. It may be to my advantage to only battle the sages that I need to battle, rather than all of them. If I decide I want that experience later, I could go back and get it, though chances are, by the time I would want that experience, I'll be, they will be giving so little that it won't really matter to me. I guess Bug Catcher Wade has a needle he could potentially poison despite all of my concerns about HP, I will battle Blood Pitcher Wade. The chance he has of giving berries is too valuable to pass up. I could also get Rock Smash and teach it to Onyx, but I don't really want team members caught down with HMs, and Rock Smash isn't that good of a move anyway. I can think of only one situation where Rock Smash would potentially be useful as a move this early on, and that's on a turn when Faulkner uses Roost to remove the flying type. For that turn, Rock Smash would be super effective. So I'm learning Screech. Mud Sport is kind of bad. It weakens electric type moves while the user's in the battle. While I'm in the battle, electric moves do not affect me because I am part ground type. The only real utility for Mud Sport would be in a double battle where I have a Pokemon that is weak to rock type or electric type moves, but until I'm in the first Pokemon I get that is weak to electric type moves is in the final gym town. In fact, electric moves are not a big concern for the in-game trade Pokemon. Let's see if I get poisoned. If he uses String Shot, I won't. Alright, so we'll be going into Sprout Tower at level 7, maybe? 6 or 7. It's a level 2 Caterpie, it might not level me up. But if we're double the level of the weaker Bellsprouts, we should be able to get past that. Alright, we are level 7. And we've been getting large amounts of defense, despite our nature making it grow times 0.9. That's the effect of natures. This stat that goes up faster grows at times 1.1 multiplier, and the stat that grows slower is times 0.9. Generally, I like neutral natures that don't raise or lower anything, but for basically any situation, there is a better nature. Basically anything on Onyx that lowers special attack and raises something else would be good. Onyx just doesn't learn special moves. Or at least it's not going to. Alright. So let's proceed into Sprout Tower. I have no choice about this. Find the Pokeball faster this time because I'm pushing the correct button that is bound to A. Alright, so this first Sage is unavoidable. I absolutely must battle him. So let's see how Onyx handles a level 3 Bellsprout. Or several level 3 Bellsprouts, as a matter of fact. And I missed my first tackle, and he got a critical hit. I mean, they only do. I'm just gonna let myself fight. Like, if he got a critical hit and I missed my first tackle, then any level of potions I use is just not going to be, it's just not going to matter. That's what you got to say. I don't know how any of your Caterpies or Weedle knocked out a Pidgey in one hit. I have some doubts about that. Yes, any trainer that you can rematch does get stronger teams in the future, but those are at fixed points in progression. And the first one of those is quite some time away. So let's hope we don't miss tackles, or at the very least don't get crit. Tackle is 95% accurate, so I really shouldn't be missing them. Looks like Vine Whip is only doing 4, which means if it takes me 2 hits to take out each Bellsprout, then each one will do 8 damage, which means if I don't level up after this one, I would faint against the last one, even starting this battle at full health. But 81 is not quite enough. Well, darn. Normally, I would say in a challenge run to not use items in battle. And once I get past Sprout Tower, I will follow that. But for the time being, because I'm fighting I am forced into fights against Pokemon that are super effective against me, I'll let myself use a potion here and there. If I had been level 8 going into that battle, though, it wouldn't have been necessary. Alright, I will pick up all the items I can, hoping to heal. I also haven't saved yet. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Try and get some of these saving a lot of data out of the way early on. The game time is a little longer than the time I've been streaming because I went ahead and got into the game before I went live. So you didn't have to see all the introductory stuff. Once again, this stage is mandatory. I promise not all of them are, but first 2, yes. He also has 3 Bellsprouts. Level 3 each. I'm still taking 4 damage, but I'm doing more damage as well. So if I can take them out in 2 hits, I'll only get hit once each time. Which cuts the damage I take in half. Of course, if I miss tackle, then it really doesn't matter. And it looks like that all... It wasn't a critical hit, but somehow he did 9 instead of 4. Damage ranges at this level should not be that... should not swing that wildly. He did not do anything that should have made him do that much more damage. He's level 3 Bellsprout, only no Vine Whip. The ones that know growth, I hope they use growth a lot, because it boosts special attack, meaning it would have no impact on the damage of Vine Whip. I expected to wipe here in Sprout Tower. I did not expect to wipe against both first trainers. And I still don't know why I did. Alright, Onyx is already level 9. It is now trying to learn Rock Throw. I will get rid of Harden because I don't want to spend any time boosting my defense. So I probably should have gotten rid of Vine. Rock Throw will not do any more damage to the Bellsprout than Tackle. Okay, it would do a little bit more because it's the same type, but it's even less accurate than Tackle. And if I'm already missing Tackles, I don't really want to rely on Rock Throw when it won't be doing super effective damage. I believe Onyx will stop listening to me at level 10. In future generations, the first gym badge would make them listen to you up to level 20. That was not the case in this generation. But I can avoid that, Sage. I do have to battle 2 on this floor before the Elder. Let's make sure I'm full health because the Bellsprouts up here are higher level. You will see you no matter, even if I've been one step further away. You do have to battle this one. And he's got a level 6 Bellsprout. It's only 1, so I should still be able to pull out the win, even if it's doing 12 damage. Another crit! 12.5% chance for a critical hit, and it's happened how many times against me now? I told you that the start of this run would be very rough trying to get through Sprout Tower with Onyx. There's a reason why I haven't done this run too many times. It's because it's one that is... I mean, the challenge is vastly weighted to the beginning of the game. The second Pokemon I get is Machop, and I get it before the 3rd gym. So I have super effective damage for it. And Machop is unlikely to reach above level 30 before that gym. Just to show you that you do have to fight him no matter what, even if I'm one step further away. It'd be nice if I could battle the gym trainers at least, even if not the leader. I'm not sure that this is a 3-hit KO. Means at this level I would be unable to beat this Bellsprout. I have to try Rock Throw and hope it does more. And it did. I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 potions, even though I'd rather just go heal at the center. And I have to battle one more Bellsprout to make it to the Elder. Oops. That was the wrong move. And the bind missed anyway. A rock throw, if it hits, will be good damage. Okay, I do not want to use more potions, so I'm going to head back to the center. The encounter rate in Sprout Tower is not super high. I am a little surprised that this is the first wild encounter I had, based on how many times I had to go back up, but can't buy repels until you beat the first gym. I'm kind of curious whether the first gym will take more or less tries than it did with Sunkern. I won't need to be as high of a level to beat Faulkner, but if my Onyx stops listening to me, then it could end up poorly. I guess the fact that I have 3 attacking moves on my moveset and one that lowers defense at least means that even if it's not listening, it should be something that helps. Yes, Joey, I know your Rattata is in the top percentage of Rattata. I want the top percentage Rattata. I have some shiny Rattata, but they're not top percentage in the way his is. I do a lot of EV training in most of my challenges, and that results in finding a number of shinies. Hello Avachan, welcome to the stream. Oh, darn it. I'll battle this one again because I am not willing to battle that guy. I guess the advantage is that this time I did not accidentally try and use bind on the first turn on that one, so I can not have to use 2. I appreciate that. Alright, I'll go ahead and grab the escape rope, but no, I don't like to use it here. And we'll save 2 ways before I actually fight Elder D. Do the proper in-game save and the save state. Still saving a lot of data. I also play Stardew Valley on stream. I've done a couple quick serve delicious streams. I also did a complete playthrough of Skyrim, and I did install one of my other games last night that I'll play next week. Elderly has 2 level 7 Bellsprout and a Hoodoo. The Bellsprouts are terribly dangerous. I am familiar with most of the games, but I've not played most of them. I played a little bit of Minecraft like 15 years ago, but not regularly. Okay, now that I'm above level 10, Onyx will only do what I say pretty much every other turn. Reach instead of tackle and got taken out. I'm actually going to reload because I missed that first rock throw. If I hadn't, I probably would have still won. I am 34. Not taking any damage against the first Bellsprout means even with Onyx ignoring me, I should be okay for the rest of the battle. As far as streaming goes, I play on my PC, but outside of streaming, I typically play more on consoles. Though I do enjoy my mods on PC. So apparently, my battle style is elegant. Thank you for the sub. I do not have a PS5, I have up to PS4. I also have my Switch, and the highest I ever went with Xbox was a 360. After that, I mostly went Sony and Nintendo. But I have a Windows PC, so Microsoft is still getting my money. So, in general, I like to make sure that I battle all of the trainers inside gyms. And I think I will do so here. It's not like getting Onyx to an even higher level will make it ignore me more. So it really doesn't matter if I get more experience at this point. I'm not looking for any of that right now. what? Spearow was very scary for Sunkern, but Onyx decided to listen to me and took it out with one hit. I guess my concern with Faulkner is that he'll probably be using Roost a fair bit, and on those turns Rock Throw, even if Onyx does choose to use it, won't be super effective. Well, I accidentally chose Tackle, but he wasn't going to use it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Sand Attack is going to be very devastating, though. You saw how much it missed on moves that normally do not miss. So, a move like Rock Throw that doesn't have... If you want to add me on Discord, I can't promise that I'll check there very much, but it's the same username as it is here on YouTube. But I check my Discord very rarely, as any of the other people who have come into my stream telling me that they make stuff can tell you. Though most of them unsubscribed when they realized that I wasn't going to accept their things. I probably should have, taken some time to heal, but I don't need additional health, but making sure that I have full power points in case Rock Throw misses a lot. I will check my Discord during my break. So Pidgey fainted without too much trouble. Now I just have to hope that Rock Throw hits enough while Pidgeotto is airborne to take it out quickly. Gust does a little bit more damage since it is a special move, and Onyx's special defense is atrocious. But I got a critical hit and ended up getting a first try victory against Faulkner, so that's a good thing. Rage is an okay move, but I'm going to keep my own moves. Rage does more damage if you take damage while you're using it, but it's not great. I guess it would probably be better than Tackle, but I'll just hold on to my moves for now. Oh, Pokemon up to level 20 obey. I thought it was a later generation. I apologize. My information was wrong. I own that. I'm sorry. So now Onyx will listen to me up until level 20, which makes me even happier that I took the time to get the experience from the gym trainers. As before, when you exit the gym, Elm will tell you that he wants you to carry the egg. In Gold, Silver, and Crystal, the assistant would be waiting for you at the Pokemon Center because it would assume that you'd go there after leaving the gym. But they moved it to the Pokemon Mart for the remakes. So I should have gotten enough money from battles to get a Super Potion, and nothing else, I would imagine. Now that we have one gym badge, we can buy Super Potions ourselves, but we can also buy Repels. I will buy 9, and I'll get the 10th on the way to the to Union Cave. I won't be using... Oh, sorry, I forgot about the kimono girl. I will do a couple things before I actually head down that route. I will come to the route to the left and get the Rock Smash HM. I won't be using it until I catch a Sandshrew in Union Cave, but I want to at least have it. If it were Thursday, there would be a third person on this route, which would be very useful for Onyx. He would give me a Hard Stone, which boosts the power of Rock-type moves by 20%. But because it is Friday, well, the day I'm streaming this, and the day is synced to my computer time, there's no guy there. There will be a person outside of Union Cave for Friday, but she will not be terribly useful to me. There are items I can get here with the help of Rock Smash, but that doesn't mean I want to teach it to either my Onyx nor my Totodile. The inscription on the wall says escape, so you use an escape rope. In Generation 4, it does not consume the item. Catch a berry, which will heal poison if I'm holding it. Oran berry will restore 10 HP. Heal powder functions like a full heal, heals any status. And energy powder works like a super potion, restores 50 HP. I don't know that I'll open up all of the Ruins of Elf hidden chambers, but that one's pretty easy to open. There are some exceptional items in some of the later ones though. So now, because I did take some damage and you don't get healed after the gym battle, we'll stop by the Pokemon Center and then get back on our way. I'll also deposit the egg. I don't need Togepi for this run because it's not an in-game trade. And I won't be using it for HMs either. So if it hatches and I keep it with me, then that's just an extra Pokemon I'm healing when I go to the center. You can deposit eggs. So when we head south out of town, we will get the Miracle Seed from a guy who wants you to remember Violet City because by it, we do not have any grass type moves, and I don't believe I get a grass type Pokemon at any point during this run. So the Miracle Seed is not terribly useful to me. So I'm hesitant to battle too many trainers. I think for now I'll only battle required trainers. And if I decide I need more experience before the second gym, I'll come back and battle them. But there are several people I have to battle before I can get to Bugsy. And I would like Onyx to listen to me and use Rock Throw during that battle. Because Bugsy, being a bug-type specialist, his Pokemon are weak to rock moves. And his Ace Scyther in particular is 4 times weak. So I can be relatively sure that if I hit it with a rock throw, it will be taken out. I'll still get as many items as I can, though. Maybe one of the Pokemon I get can at least learn Bullet Seed, and I can put the Miracle Seed on it then. There are a lot of rock types inside Union Cave. And as Onyx has not learned a ground type move as of yet. Let me turn off the running shoes. I don't use a minor spinner, not one that spins quickly. Back here is the girl I was talking about, Frida on Friday. She gives me a poison barb, which increases the damage of poison type moves by 20%. I'm relatively certain that I'll be using a poison type move at some point in this run, but not yet. There's a TM and Pokemon that can learn that TM, I believe. I will at least talk to these two people in the, I don't need the old rod, I'll need a rod later, but, I'll talk to him anyway. I do want to talk to this other guy. He will give me lure balls, which, gives me a higher chance of catching Pokemon while fishing. And one of the Pokemon I need for an in-game trade is caught by fishing. So having those lure balls will be advantageous to me. There's this this bird keeper. And a great ball here. Alright, so we'll go into Union Cave. And I will not pop a repel until I catch the Sandshrew. If you want an Onyx and you did not trade for it, you can catch Onyx here. Their catch rate is actually fairly low. So the great ball that you can get outside may be helpful to you in catching it. So you can safely get a couple tackles on the Sandshrew. With the defense scroll, I think I can get a third. Get it into red health, greatly improve my chance of catching it. I shouldn't need a great ball for a Sandshrew. Especially one in red health. You're playing. You can avoid that fire breather. Now I'm about to pick up the TM for Rock Tomb, which, as a rock move, unsurprisingly, Onyx can learn it. I'm not sure I'm going to teach it though. It does have an additional effect that Rock Throw does not. It lowers the speed of an opposing Pokemon, but it's not in other ways it's not really that big of an upgrade. Here's me, I did a whole bunch of research for this, for today, and I did not check Onyx's actual learn set. Because it might learn that move anyway soon. Let me... Another Sandshrew. hidden item on that rock if I can never get to it. I caught the Sandshrew, I should be using the bells now. Back when I was first playing Pokemon, I just never used I never used repels. I just stuck it out. Alright, so Onyx learns Rock Tomb at level 17, so there's really no reason for me to teach it via the TM when it's going to learn the move soon anyway. I will pick up this item. I'm going to go outside and get the item that's out there with Rock Smash, so I'm trying to use up some of my steps to grab items now. And the repel ran out at the entrance to the cave. Perfect timing. So I'm going to come over to my TM and HM bag, use Rock Smash, and teach it to do Sandshrew. The first of 4 HMs it can learn. It can learn Cut, Rock Smash, Strength, and Rock Climb. So Sandshrew will be very useful to me as I go through the game. This item is the Shell Bell, and I will put it on Onyx since I have no other held item to give it, except for berries. The Shell Bell, the holder's HP is restored a little each time it deals damage. I think it's not very much, but it's a little bit of healing can go a long way. When you're still relatively weak. I shouldn't need more than 3 repels total to get through Union Cave. Including the one I already used. So that guy has a bunch of, oops. I skipped the guy with the Onyx, but, I accidentally ran into the guy with the Geodudes. This is gonna be a long fight. I did good damage thanks to the critical hit. Rockthrow is not going to do that much damage anymore. Geodude will resist anything I do, so... I suppose Screech could be effective here. One Screech lowers their defense by 2 stages. So since he used Defense Curl now 3 times, I've used Screech twice, his effective defense is lowered. He's mostly using Defense Curl and Bloodsport rather than trying to attack me. Alright, I'll switch to Tackle. Unfortunately, this is going to be a very slow battle. Last Geodude is a little higher level. I'll actually use Bind. The initial hit of Bind will not do much, but the residual damage after each turn is more effective. Screech is a nice move to have to lower a Pokemon's defense twice in 1 turn, but it does have a tendency to miss. Geodude is much faster than me because of its rock polishes, but I use enough Screech so I'm doing decent damage. None of the Geodudes ever actually attacked me. OBS disconnected for a moment, but it is. Okay, OBS crashed, but I think we're back now. Hopefully we are. So all I did was pick up a great ball. I did not battle anyone. Let's see, I can avoid this trainer if I turn off the running shoes. I'll wait until he turns to face back down. Alright, and there's my awakening. And head out towards Azalea Town. Because I have a rappel still up, go through the grass to avoid Hiker Anthony. Alright, so I will have to battle Team Rocket members before I can go to the gym. Let me fix up a couple things here real quick, since I had to restart OBS. Alright. So there is a hidden full heal on this log. And going into Ilex Forest right now does me no good. The gym is actually blocked off, so I can't go in there. To progress, I have to come in here and talk to Kurt. He will not make Pokeballs for me yet, because Team Rocket is being evil. That sound of the store opening and closing makes me think there's an animal nearby, but there is not. So Kurt is injured, and so he will ask me to fight Team Rocket instead. This is Slowpoke well. Unsurprisingly, you can find Slowpoke in here. Slowpoke is a Pokemon that I don't use very much for itself, but I use it to breed Curse onto other Pokemon. Because it learns Curse at a very early level. So I know Slowpoke can breed it onto Pokemon that learn Curse. Like Snorlax. Snorlax is my second favorite Pokemon. So right now my feeling is to battle all of the required trainers and then defeat Bugsy, and then battle some optional trainers, because I do have my doubts that Onyx can defeat my rival at like any less than level 25 or so. I mean, the rival Zubat will not be a problem. Ghastly should not be a problem either, but the Bayleaf, that will be a problem. Astonish is a move that Onyx actually doesn't resist, but it's weak, and so is Zubat. This does have Intimidate, which is annoying. I'm gonna run out of Brock throws. I'm gonna have to leave it here. I'll take out the last rocket before the executive, before I go, and then heal, but... My health is fine, it's just the rock throws that I'm running out of. And as it's the stronger move, I want to use it. There's a hidden item on this rock. My uncle continues to like my Twitter posts, which I appreciate greatly. I love Team Rocket music. I'm just a fan of Team Rocket in general. I don't care for the villains. I can take a Rattata out in 2 tackles, so no need to use rock throws on them. Come to think of it, I can probably take out Zubat in just a couple weeks. I hit the down arrow instead of the right arrow again. I can probably take Zubat out without rock throw, but I like seeing it's super effective text on the screen. Now the extra text of that hit being critical was completely unnecessary. There's an additional Zubat, but since the first rock throw hit or missed, I have none left to use on it. Onix's physical defense is so much higher than its attack that even though the damage you deal to yourself is typeless and therefore is not resisted, I'm still not too worried about Onix being confused. Slowpoke, well, at least when you're doing it for story purposes, is not very large, so it feels like kind of a waste to use a repel in here. Especially since after you defeat the executive, you're teleported out. Alright. Onix is still well below the level 20 cap. After you've defeated the rockets, the gym is unlocked. Also, you cannot enter Azalea Forest again until you defeat your Ilex Forest. You cannot access Ilex Forest again until you defeat your rival. But you can do part of the necessary progression if you can defeat your rival before you defeat Bugsy. But you cannot progress all the way through Ilex Forest until you defeat him. I shouldn't have any issues with this rocket, but after I defeat this executive before I go into the gym is where I'll take my break. He was the scariest and cruelest guy in Team Rocket. That's just simply not true. I would say Executive Proton is the least threatening of the 4 executives. But he has Zubat and Coughing. Zubat is weak to Rock Throw. Coughing is somewhat well known for its physical defense. Coughing and Wheezing make effective physical walls. He's not using smog on me, which I appreciate. I would rather not be poisoned. There's the smog and the poison, which is going to do more damage than any of the shits can do, but he's basically out of health anyway. I will go to level 17 because of that battle, and I now have the opportunity to learn Rock Tomb. So, Rock Throw does 50 damage, has 50 power and 90 accuracy. Rock Tomb has 50 power and 80 accuracy, but it lowers the opponent's speed. I'm just going to get rid of Bind because it's even more inaccurate than the Rock type moves, and I don't want it. When I go through the forest, I'll also get an additional significant moveset upgrade for Onyx. So, upon completion of the Slowpoke Well, you are defeating the rocket at least. You get transported back to Kurt's house. He will give you a fastball, and at this point you can give him any apricorns you have collected, and he will make more balls for you. It takes a day. I know Onyx is poisoned, it's not a big deal. Don't worry. So I'm going to come down here, and where Kurt was standing, there's a great ball. Obviously you can't get it while he's still there, but if you come in after defeating the rockets and saving the Slowpoke, you're good. I am letting Onyx take the poison damage to show you that if you go down to 1 HP, the poison fades away. Your Pokemon, as of this generation, do not faint due to poison damage. In even more recent generations, you don't even take poison damage outside the battle to begin with. Okay, so I will step into the gym, and I will take my break, and I will be back in just a few minutes. I will do a proper save and a save state and give it a break. Okay, I'm back in. Let me say, chat while I was away. Let's take care of that. Okay, looks like everything is good to go. So let us proceed into the gym. Okay, so the middle spin rack would take you over to the bug catcher over there. But the left one takes you forward. This bug catcher is required. And he has the Vito evolutionary line, which means that he will be gaining quite a significant amount of experience having both a middle stage and a fully evolved Pokemon. In most cases, I'm going to be using Rock Throw for its slightly higher accuracy than Rock Tomb. I don't often need to try and speed control Pokemon. Onyx is surprisingly fast, and this one has the hasty nature that makes it even faster. Let's It's about to start raining here. For another day in a row. So if you do not want to hit that blue switch unless you want to fight the Paris guy in the top right. This is a double battle. You will not fight them if you only have one Pokemon in your party. But since I still have the Sandshrew with me, I'll be able to fight them. I will just have it use Defense Curl, so it's not actually dealing any damage. This is the only double battle I can possibly have before I can get my second team member, so that's okay. It didn't do any damage to them. I guess technically it soaked up some damage that could have gone to Onyx, but not that much. So hit the blue switch next to them. That will take you down here. Hit the red switch. And that will take you forward to Bugsy, who with my Scyther, or with my Onyx, should not be an issue. U-turn is a very powerful move. Scyther is a very powerful Pokemon, but I resist it and do 4 times damage to him. So if he even chooses to use U-turn, he might not. When it's resisted, you will not always use it. Rock Throw does 4 times damage. Does have a Citrus Berry, unlike Faulkner, who does have an item. I use Ace, but a second Rock Throw finishes him off. That is the threat of this battle taken care of. If you can get past Scyther, then chances are you can get by the Metapod and the Kakuna as well. They have higher defense than Scyther, and are only regular 2 times damage as opposed to 4 times damage from rock moves. But, yeah. Should still be able to handle them without any difficulty. They do have the attacking move that they would learn as a Caterpie or Weedle. But they also have other moves they will use as well. He might heal it with an item, I'm not sure. Not sure if he had more than one healing item. So, with that taken care of, we have now 2 gym badges, which means we made it further than we made it with Sun Karen on Wednesday. He gives me the Hive badge. And Pokemon up to level 30 will now obey me. I can use Cut outside of battle, and he gives me the TM for U-turn. I do not have anything that can use that right now, but there are Pokemon I will get later that can. I forgot that if you want to get straight back, hit the blue switch next to him. So I'll just go back up there and do that. So now the only thing that it stands between me and progression, particularly getting to my second team member, is a rival battle. So I'm going to put my Sandshrew away, and I'm going to go ahead and give that rival battle an attempt. I do not expect to win it, but I guess we'll see. The rival will have a Ghastly and a Zubat, no matter what your starter was. And of course he'll have the starter that is super effective against yours. And usually it will have evolved one time before this battle. So he will be using a Bayleaf. and while its grass type moves are like the Bellsprout physical, it's, you know, stronger than the Bellsprout. So I'll drop a save state right there and try to leave town. If this doesn't work out, I did leave a bunch of trainers behind, both in Union Cave and before Union Cave. I can use them to increase my level somewhat. Yeah, I'll just try Rock Throw on Ghastly. It did not do enough damage to take it out, but it did do more, it did more than half, which prevents it from using Curse. And me taking a quarter of my damage every turn for the rest of the fight. So here's Bayleaf. I do outspeed it for now, but that does so very little damage. And he is able to poison me. Did that speech miss? So he can use Reflect, he can use Synthesis to get health back, he can poison you, and of course, Razor Leaf, which does 28 points of damage. So, I am not going to beat him at this level, more than likely. So let's fight Hiker Anthony. Actually, he might take me out too. Well, I'll have no issue with the Geodude, I should think. In fact, I feel comfortable using a couple speeches against it. Because it's mostly just gonna boost his speed. And even after all those rock polishes, I'm still faster than level 11 Geodude. Alright, so now I'll be level 20 before going into the rival fight. The reason I was worried about this is the Machop. It can potentially do significant damage to me. But if it just uses Leer to try and lower my defense, and or I get a critical hit, that's not a concern. Okay, so we're going back to the Union Cave, which means I'll be using repels again. There's a super nerd here. He has a Slowpoke, which does lead to some concern, but as this is only Pokemon and it is level 11, I still think I can make it past it. Obviously, I'm going to outspeed a Slowpoke. If I can take him out in this turn, then I won't fall asleep either. There's an Awakening in Union Cave just after the Slowpoke that likes to use Yawn. Is there an item on both of these? No. I know there's a hidden item on the rock out in the water, because of course there is. I skipped this potion on the way through. This guy has coughing. He's also somewhat famous for complaining about Zubat. Zubat's supersonic keeps my Pokemon. And he wants you to know that he is seriously upset. This Falcon is quite low level. They're both level 6. I want to, I think, continue avoiding the hiker that has the Onyx. So I'll walk right into him. So, given that it's Onyx, I'll use some Screeches. If he uses Rock Throw on me, it does a point of damage. This probably still has Harden, yeah? So after 3 Screeches, my Rock Throw does significant damage to him. Kinda skip through the stat screen there, but any stat boosts I get, particularly in HP and defense, helps me survive the Razor Leaf that Bayleaf will almost certainly use. Anything I get in attack helps me actually damage him. I'm super effective against the Vulpix, so that's easy experience there. There's also the Bug Catcher just before not Bug Catcher, Bird Trainer, that's right outside of the entrance. He'll be easy experience. I'm low on Rock Throw, but I also have Rock Gym now, so. Obviously you're intended to fight him when you come down here, because you want to hear people heap praise on you for having won their badge. If I wanted to, I could take Sandshrew back to Violet City and the ruins of Valve and get some items with Rock Smash. But the item I can get in Violet City just doesn't matter right now. It's a Hyper Potion which heals you by 200 HP. And how often do you have a Pokemon that actually has 200 HP? I know I don't right now. And probably will not. I am realizing that I should have used the randomizer for this playthrough, but it's okay. Just something that would have been made a little bit easier on me later on, but it's not a significant issue. Wooper will know super effective moves against me, so I hope to take it out quickly. And there's Mud Shot, which does 2 times damage, and Water Gun, which does 4 times damage. Wooper is slightly stronger on the physical attack side, so special attacks are not overwhelmingly devastating. But that is still more damage that I would like to take. There's a youngster and a couple campers that I also want to take out. There are 3 fishermen. I believe only one of them actually has watertight moves. One has a Goldeen, which mostly is Horn Attack. One has a bunch of Magikarp, which won't do much to me. But the guy that has Poliwag, they have Water Gun. I don't think they have Water Gun yet, but they do have Bubble. Which is weak, but Poliwag's special is pretty good. And, mine is not. But I'll do a few levels off of the other trainers and see if I think I can handle a couple Poliwags. I don't know if any of these Nidoran have Poison Point, but if they do, Rock Throw is not a contact move, so I don't have to worry about it. But for all I know, those Nidoran have Rivalry for their ability. I don't know one way or the other. Places are sending me offers for food that I can't eat yet. I get 1 meal on this Friday, and I will be cooking it after the stream. My goal for this first day is to get the first 3 badges, and therefore a second team member as well. Sorry Liz, I did not get your number before. Youngster Joey is calling me to tell me about his super cool Rattata. I think I have to be a little bit further before he'll actually call me for a rematch. But Wade can call you right away when it comes to the berries that sometimes give. I'll just take out this Rattata in 1 hit. Then he will send out Zubat. I did consider taking Chikorita at the start so that my rival would have Balava and it would be easier to take out in his area account. But I decided that is an easy way out. I kind of like the residual damage of Sandstorm. And of course it wouldn't damage me because I'm a rock type. It also boosts my special defense by 50%, but as Razorleaf's physical move, it doesn't really help me. But I like having options when it comes to my rock type moves. I don't want to give it my only normal type move, and Screech can be useful. So I think I'm going to pass on Sandstorm. That is the first sip of a root beer I've had in years. Well, I like root beer. I just haven't had it in a while. There also used to be an A&W here in town, but big place. It was attached to a Long John Silver, and the Long John Silver performed poorly. So the Poliwag is only level 8. I tried to put it to sleep. So I I should be no less than level 23 when I get back to my rival. Do I think it's worth going all the way back to Violet City to battle those remaining sages? It might be, because it is at least trainer boost experience. So they'll still be better than any wild Pokemon I can fight right now. I mean, I'm earning so much for experience that I'm battling the Fisher that has just the Magikarp. This Magikarp is at least level 15, so it knows Tackle. I almost did another Magikarp April Fool's Day video the other day, but in Generation 4, because Struggle is typeless, it actually can beat the game. It's not easy, but it can. You need to use Struggle to get through most rival battles, because yes, the Ghastly and its evolutions, you need to get through the Ghost Gym, which is the 4th gym, and one member of the Elite Four has one Ghost type Pokemon. So you need to use a lot of Struggle. Alright, I will go back and battle sages as well. It's money and experience I left behind. And I'm not quite yet to level 23. And as I said before, I would expect somewhere around level 25 is when I would be able to beat my rival. Realistically, I'll try before then, and may buy a lot of items and blackout train against him, because I can take out the Ghastly at least consistently, as long as Rock Throw hits. There are 2 sages that I did not battle, and I'm pretty sure I'm still allowed to do so. Yeah. While it is a necessary area to complete, it is not a gym, so you can still battle the other sages after defeating the Elder. Another sage that has 3 level 3 Bellsprout. 81 experience per Bellsprout, but it's still more than everything anywhere else. So. Definitely worth it. And then the sage over to the right here is better. It's second strongest in this tower after the Elder. He has a level 7 Battle Sprout and a level 7 Tribute. But at this level, neither of them are concerned. I got level 23. I got at least one in everything. Also, that's a damage rounding threshold since the last time I battled my rival. So it should go better no matter what. I really wish I could go into the forest and continue on without battling the rival, and then come back and fight him. Because I would have a better move to battle him with if I could bypass him. Whitney should not be a difficult gym battle. What she is best known for is using rollout with her Miltank, which is heavily resisted by both Onyx and Machop, and then of course the fighting type's perfected moves against both her Pokemon. So she is not a significant concern to me. The rival is a concern. This rival battle in particular. Future ones will not be as bad. I can have 3 Pokemon on my team before I have to fight the rival for a 3rd time. Now none of them are... It's the 4th Pokemon from my team that I can't get until I've completed most of the rival battles that it would actually be super effective against his starter. But I can, with additional Pokemon on my party, I at least have some level of strategy beyond just keep throwing Onyx out there and hope the things go okay. Alright. So I've battled every trainer that I have access to. I did skip a couple in the Azalea gym because I was concerned about the level cap before Bugsy. Mentally trying to decide how many and what sort of items I should buy at the shop in Azalea Town. Because if I do decide to black out against my rival over and over again, I'll want to not have too much money in my inventory. Money is eventually unlimited in this game, but start, it is not. Once you complete the radio tower and can freely rematch any trainers, then you can basically get as much money as you want. Plus at that point you'll also get the amulet coin and be able to double your money. But I don't know how much rematching trainers I'll do on stream because there are specific days and times you can rematch each of them. And if I'm not streaming at that time, In general, I'll keep Stardew Valley on Tuesday and Saturday, and do other things on Monday. So mostly stream this on Wednesday and Friday, but if I believe that playing this on a different day would be beneficial to completing it, then I will. Okay, let's see what I can do to the rival now. I outspeed Ghastly. I'm not concerned about Moon Milk. I'm not going to try and switch anyway. So Ghastly, I don't know this guaranteed one-shot, but it is a possible one-shot. I will try one Screech on Bailey before I start attacking. After Screech, Rock Throw does half. If I hit, I win. Okay, I'm going to win. I see no situation in which Zubat takes me out. Yes, it can confuse me, but if I outspeed and hit the Rock Throw, then it's done. So that is the second rival defeated. I didn't have to spend or lose any money blackout training. So I will grab Sandshrew now because I need cut. I mean, I don't have cut yet, but when I do have cut, I will need to use it. Such a useful HM slave. I don't get the first one I'm going to put on Totodile until after the third gym, so no concern there. So I can now freely enter Ilex Forest whenever I want. Forest is watched over by its protector. Stay out of mischief. Mischief managed. Alright, I will pop a repel to make things easier on myself. I should be able to do this with 5. So when I get here, this guy will... My boss is going to be angry. The Farfetch'd to cut trees for charcoal took off. So, you have to step on this branch. It shows you that when you step on branches, the Farfetch'd will turn towards you. You can run. They won't turn towards you just because you're running. There will be another Farfetch'd. I'm gonna get to that item ball before I use... Okay. A pre-revive. I always scoff when I'm doing a Nuzlocke or a solo run and get revives. They end up getting sold. Alright, so... This Farfetch'd is moderately more difficult to catch than the first one, but still not hard. I will come up here and get it to run to the right. Then step on these branches to get it facing towards the trees. Go up around those branches and sneak up behind it. He talks about the disobedience that the Farfetch'd won't obey him because he doesn't have a badge. And the cut master gives me cut and tells me that I need to have the badge from Azalea to use it. If after catching the Farfetch'd, you go back to their house, which is the one that had the full healed log outside of it, and you talk to the apprentice, he gives you charcoal. His charcoal works just as well as what you can buy at the shop here in Azalea, just, saving you the 9,800 Poké Dollars that it costs. Now, of course, we do not have any fire-type moves, but if we did, or if you chose Cyndaquil as your starter, you would definitely want to make sure to grab that charcoal. I will pop up the repel and come into my HM menu and cut the sand shrew, so I can now cut down these small trees, like this one. I believe there's a hidden item somewhere around here. Somewhere around the shrine, but I don't remember exactly where this one is. There are several hidden items here in Ilex Forest. Most notably mushrooms. There's an X attack kind of tucked away there. The item ball is barely visible, but it is not a hidden item. Antidote there. If you want to find hidden items, corners are not a bad place to check. Hidden repel right there. So if you didn't buy more, you might still be okay. Hidden super potion right there. And the way forward is up where that kimono girl is standing. I think there's at least one mushroom that's not technically in the corner, so I won't find that mushroom. But when you're in woods, check pointers and you'll sometimes find a mushroom. All they're good for is being sold, but yeah. So this guy, in Generation 2, he gave you TM1, which was Headbutt. But Headbutt is not a TM anymore, he is now a move tutor, and he will teach Headbutt to as many of your Pokemon as you want. So if you're using something like Onix, and have been rolling with the 35 power, 95% accuracy tackle, upgrading to a 70 power, 100 accuracy Headbutt with the chance to flinch the opponent is a massive upgrade. So, switching out Tackle for Headbutt doesn't magically make Onix a better Pokemon, but it makes it marginally more useful. The first time I played HeartGold, I freaked out at this point, because to help her get out of the forest, one of your Pokemon points out the way, and I thought she was stealing one of my Pokemon. But as soon as she walks by, the Pokemon comes back to you. There's an ether just sitting on the ground there. There's also another hidden item somewhere around here. But I don't remember exactly where that one is. I'm probably going to get into a couple battles on my way out of the forest, but I am so close to the exit that I do not want to use another repel just yet. I'm just going to get out. Alright. This girl will give me a TM. TM 12. which is Sweet Scent, or Taunt. It's Sweet Scent Generation 2. Taunt makes it so that your opponent has to use an attacking move rather than the status moves that they're so fond of. I'm going to avoid as many of these trainers as possible, because ideally I will fight them with another Pokemon. And to get to that other Pokemon, I need to get to Drowsy. In Generation 2, the in-game trade was an Abra. Abra is also found on this route, but its enjoyment of using Teleport makes it a little bit more difficult to catch. So there's my Drowsy. And coming up here, we encounter Lyra again. Parents live. They are the breeders for this generation. You can leave Pokemon with them to level up, or to breed. By the way, if you choose the girl character, these would be Ethan's grandparents instead. I dropped the cat from the trunk. I'll pick it up with my toes. Yes, I can do that. Not there. Apparently. So her grandparents tease her about being her boyfriend. And we get Lyra's number at this point. And on the way out, her grandfather will also give you his and his wife's numbers. The daycare man will call you if the Pokemon you leave there give an egg, and the daycare lady will tell you if the Pokemon you've left there have leveled up. The policemen are trainers. There's one north and one south of Goldenrod, but they will only battle you at night. Okay, so here we are in Goldenrod City. The very, very first place I'm going to go is all the way around here. This is the bike shop. And you do not need a bike voucher to get this bike. All you have to do is promise to ride it around and advertise. So I'm going to go into the bag and register the bike as a key item. And you can have 2 registered key items, but the one that you register to first, you just have to tap Y to use. So now I have the bike. I'm going to come into the department store now. And I have to play the game on a Sunday, I just realized. Because there's a TM that you get on Sundays. But first, I'm gonna come... maybe it's the guy on the 3rd floor. No, it's this guy. He wants to trade Drowsy for Machop. Machop is, of course, a fighting type Pokemon, and therefore super effective against the normal types of this next gym. It's also super effective against 2 later. Enemy moves always hit you, but your moves also always hit them. I much prefer no guard. This Machop, named Muscle, has a lonely nature, so that's plus attack and minus physical defense. It also comes holding the Macho Brace. The Macho Brace doubles the EV yield of whatever you fight, but it also lowers your speed while you're holding it. So on Sundays only, there will be a extra person standing at this counter, and they will give you a nice TM if your Pokemon likes you. You can buy the TM after the Elite Four, but getting the first one here is very useful. But it can only be gotten on Sunday. And this Sunday is Easter. But I may do like a super short stream to show that off. So, if you talk to these guys, they'll have the Machop move the containers. I need to wait for him to walk back up so that the Machop will move the other container when I talk to him. I'm not going to let you walk further down, sir. Alright. There are some items down here. Some of them are visible, some of them are hidden. We're really not terribly likely to be burned anytime soon, so that's not the most useful item to find, but there's a super potion there. There's also a ether over here, which ethers are most useful for solo runs so that you don't have to go back to the Pokemon Center to replenish your power points as often. Also a free Ultra Ball, so if you need help catching whatever. And the hidden antidote there. If you want to catch an Abra, getting that Ultra Ball may be useful, though there's an easier way to get an Abra. Just get it from the game corner. Doesn't take very many coins. I could do a whole 3-hour stream on Voltorb Flip alone, but I'm not gonna worry about that. To battle the gym here in Goldenrod City, you have to come to the radio tower. The gym leader is right there, and she will not be at the gym until you get the radio card. So here's the quiz. Can you check the town map with your Pokegear? Yes, indeed you can. Nidorina can only be female, that is true. Kurtz, the Pokeball creator, uses apricots as ingredients. No, he uses apricorns. It's impossible to use a TM on Magikarp. True, yes it is. I have only one more question to go. In Professor Oak's popular show, Pokemon Talk, is he on with Marie? No, he's on with Mary. And I can now listen to the radio with Pokegear. And Brittany's like, oh! I thought the answer to the third question was surely apricots, and she goes back to the gym. It will take me a while to get any rewards out of it, but I will come up to talk to Buena here. She gave me the point card. Her show airs for an hour in the 2, 5, 8, and 11 o'clock hours. So her show is not on right now. But you can get some decent prizes from doing that. There's also a woman right here. She will check the ID number of your Pokemon against a lucky number, and if digits match, you get rewards. None of my digits matched. It is because of that lottery that I do the in-game trades in every playthrough I do, because of course you get having the ID numbers of the other original trainers that give you the in-game trades increases the chance of getting a reward there. Alright, I'm going to switch Machop to the lead of my party because it needs to catch up in levels. Because even though it's super effective against the gym, it already has 2 fighting type moves. It's not going to go very well if I try to fight right now. I need to get at least some levels. But I'm going to start being a little bit more judicious with the trainers I fight. For example, youngster Ian, he gives a phone number and can also give you berries. But the Pokemon he has are Mankey and Diglett. Mankey gives attack EVs and Diglett gives speed EVs. So Pokemon that you want to have more of those stats, you would want to battle with certain Pokemon. I do, however, have the set battle mode on instead of shift. If you have shift on, it will ask you if you want to change Pokemon between opposing Pokemon, but I'm not worried about that. I do want to learn Foresight over the I think. Foresight will allow Muscle to hit ghost types, and as the 4th gym is full of ghost types, having that is nice. Now I'm not going to worry too much about EVs. It's possible that some of my late game Pokemon I'll do a little bit of EV training with. I recommend doing absolutely 0 EV training before getting the Machop race because at least doubling it makes it a little bit less mind-numbingly tedious. But I would mostly recommend not doing any EV training until after the 7th gym, because at that point you can start rematching trainers and get enough money to buy vitamins, which will increase your Pokemon's EVs, give you a little bit of a head start, and save you even more time. Thankfully, this attack is going to be going up pretty quickly. Reap might use Thunder Shock. I thought I would switch out and reduce the chance of that happening. I'm going to use Rock Throw even though Headbutt would certainly take it out. Reap has the static ability which could leave me paralyzed. I think if Machop gets to like level 20, then I will be more than capable of finishing. I usually ignore the mom's skulls, but she will call you when she gets a new item for you. I ignore the calls because I know exactly what she's going to say. It's the exact same dialogue every single time. So for a lot of Pokemon, Karate Chop will be more effective than Low Kick, as Low Kick is based on the weight of the opposing Pokemon. And a lot of these early game routes will have things like Rattata and Spearow that don't weigh very much. But if it's something like a Rattata, it's still a super effective move, so okay, we'll usually do enough. Until Generation 5, there were no pure flying type Pokemon, so since all of these Spearow are part normal type as well, fighting moves are at least neutral against them. Alright, Muscle's gotten some good experience. I'll battle one more trainer on this route and then head into the gym. If I can get through the third gym before I end the stream today, I'll be happy. And we're approaching the 3-hour mark, so I'm not going to be ending quite yet. So, technically Gina has a couple Hoppers in the Bulbasaur. Foresight does have another property besides letting normal and fighting type moves into ghost types. If you're fighting a Pokemon that loves using things like Double Team and minimize and raising their evasion, if you use Foresight, it will effectively remove those evasion buffs and allow you to hit them anyway. Leech Seed is a move I love using, and it's being used against me. But this battle will get Muscle up to level 17, which should be enough to, based on it being super effective against them, do decent damage in the gym. Leech Seed remains if you stay in. It will remain until I either faint or switch out. It looks like my job is going to faint here because I can't take out Hopper in one more hit, and the Leech Seed will finish me off. Which means I'll have to send in Onyx to finish this. But the headbutt is more than enough. Alright, so my chap wasn't able to level up, but it's okay. This is the trainer that can give you leaf stones on occasion. But it's extremely rare. My favorite Pokemon is Jolteon. I don't have a particular story for why Jolteon is my favorite, but I have always loved some Jolteon merch. My merch is not handy right now, but I have a plush and I just think Jolteon's really cool. And if I have a challenge where I am able to use it, I will. There's also that time that I did a Wi-Fi battle with a Jolteon, and I swept the, I assume, younger individual who's using a team of all legendaries, and I took them all out in one hit.
Jolteon was my favorite Pokemon before that point, but it certainly did not, certainly raised it a little bit in my estimation. Pidgeot is a solid choice. Pidgeot is an excellent Pokemon. I do want to make sure I battle all the trainers in here. It'll be a good experience. Make sure that Machop has no trouble against with me. I do have to beat the fourth badge. The fourth badge before Pokemon recently up to level 50. But after this, I can get a third Pokemon, and once I'm splitting the experience between 3 different Pokemon, having the obedience limit will not be as big of a deal. And once you get that fourth badge, a lot of times we'll get Pokemon to level 50 before the league anyway. So, I'd be getting other badges before that. So there are 2 more trainers in this gym. This girl has Snubbull, the other girl has Jigglypuff, and then Whitney has Clefairy and Miltank. This is the first gym where the leader has a Pokemon that was added in Johto. In Bugsy's gym, there were trainers that used Ladybug and Spinarak. But Bugsy himself only used Kanto Pokemon. So, Seismic Toss is a move that always deals fixed damage equal to your Pokemon's level. I would say that it is not better than Low Kick, because sometimes you will fight heavy Pokemon, like Rock types and Miltank, for example, where Low Kick does good damage. Karate Chop is has heightened critical hit chance, I believe. Yes, high critical hit ratio. Foresight is allowing me to hit ghosts and evasive Pokemon. And Focus Energy, I don't use it a whole lot, but heightening the critical hit ratio can sometimes be a useful strategy. Unless it's Generation 1 where Focus Energy actually halves the chance of landing a critical hit. Seismic Toss can be fun in some points, but it's very situational and not all that useful. In Generation 1, Seismic Toss hit Ghost types without Foresight, so it would be more useful then. But here I do not see it being very useful. Especially at my current level. Now if it was asking me if I wanted to learn something like Dragon Rage, then of course I would say yes. Because that does 40 damage no matter what, and there's basically nothing this early in the game that can survive 2 of those. It's actually a solid option to get a Dratini from the game corner because it will learn Dragon Rage quickly and can basically carry you through the next several gyms just based on that alone. Alright, so we're gonna finish off these Jigglypuffs without significant issue. And Muscle is now level 20, which may or may not be enough to handle. I'm actually going to... Well, first I'm going to put a potion on Muscle, because it's a little hurt. Actually, I'm not going to use... I use a potion on accident. I was going to use the energy powder because I don't like those, but... I'll actually start with Rocky, and I'll use it to take out the fairy and put some screeches on Miltank, and then I will bring... If Rocky faints, then I will bring in Muscle to clean him up. So, Rocky is male, and that does matter in this battle because Whitney likes to track. Also, the fairy has cute charm for its abilities, so if you make contact with it, it can infatuate you, giving you a chance to be immobilized by love, as I was there. In Metronome, they super effective move. Thankfully, Onyx's defense is sky high, so even a brick break from the fairy did not do a whole lot. I managed to get through the infatuation and forgot the fairy. So next is Miltank. I'm going to first lower its defense significantly with speech. The Miltank does not have a citrus berry as many boss Pokemon, like many ace Pokemon of gym leaders will. It actually has a Lum berry, so if you try to put a status on it, it won't heal any status the first time. Now that I have greatly lowered its defense, I'll attack with Rock Tomb. If it does manage to take out Onyx, and it doesn't look like it's going to, but if it does, those Rock Tombs will give Machop a chance to strike first and take it out. She'll keep healing it. She has a super potion, and Miltank also knows Milk Drink, so if it gets a chance to move, like I'm immobilized by love, like I have been several times, gives it a chance to heal up. I don't have to worry about these flinch chance of stomp since I'm faster than it. And if she goes into rollout, then she's stuck in rollout and gives me an easy way to finish off. So Onyx was more than enough. Did not have to use Machop at all in this gym battle. But I want to use Machop for more or less exclusively for a little bit. Slam is completely pointless to me. It's a little bit more damage than Headbutt, but it doesn't have a secondary effect. And the 75 accuracy is just far too low. So I will give up on Slam. And we defeated Whitney. Snivel Hank Bimini. So you have to come down here, and if you come back up and talk to Whitney again, she'll give you the plane badge. Which allows me to use strength outside of battle. And she also gives me TM45, which is a track. Also, the Machop we got is female, so that's another reason why it's useful for this gym, since it's female and Whitney's Pokemon are also female. Cute Charm and or Trap will not affect it. come next door to the flower shop and talk to this girl. Apparently there's an odd tree. If you defeated Whitney, then she gives you the squirt bottle, which will allow you to get past the odd tree that is blocking the way up ahead. I will go to the Pokemon Center, heal, then I'll go to the department store, get the stuff that my mom has been buying for me, and I will move on. There's some other stuff here in town, but nothing that I'm particularly worried about doing at the moment. Though it is 5 o'clock, I can show you Buena's password. Well, it just ticked over to 5 o'clock by local time. Let's see what my mom left for me. Most of what she'll send you is the berries that reduce the damage from super effective moves. It's random which ones she'll sell you, which ones she'll buy for you. But at certain thresholds of money, she does have specific items. Let's see which berries those are. The Koba is for flying type, the Kasib is for ghost, and the Bon is for dragon. Koba berry could be used on Machop if I was concerned about flying types, but I'm not. I will show you how to do Buena's password. Just come into the radio. It's the bottom right station. Buena will give you a password. Today's password is Cynical. So you come into the radio station, go up to the second floor and talk to Buena. And if you remember the password, she will ask you onto her show. And if you give the correct password, you get a point on your point card. And at certain milestones, you will get a reward. For the first one, you get a Pokeball. But at higher levels of points, you can get better things. After enough points, the cycle resets and you get the same prizes in the same order. Welcome, Junior the Pokemon Kid. I guess it's good that I'm playing Pokemon today. I'm just trying to get at least a little bit into this challenge before I end the stream for today. Got our first 3 badges and I'm feeling like the mysterious tree is probably a pretty good place to get to for this first session, which is close. Oh, I'm doing in-game trades only, so far my team is just the traded Onyx and Machop, plus I have a Sandshrew with me for HMs. So it's not a very exciting team yet. A lot of the in-game trades are further along. I will talk to this guy and he'll give me a Spearow to use. I will use that Spearow for Fly when I get far enough. If you keep the mail on Spearow and then try to complete the request using Spearow, you lose the Spearow. But if you put the mail on a different Pokemon, you can still get the reward from the guy you're asked to give the mail to and that gate card and keep the Spearow at the same time. For the moment, I will just battle the required trainers. And then I chose Totodile as my starter. It is currently in my box. I will take it out when it's time to start teaching with the wider HMs. But since I'm only allowing myself to use in-game trade Pokemon in battle, my starter does not count for that. Yeah, I chose the Totodile because it saves me having to catch a water Pokemon for Surf, Whirlpool, and Waterfall later. So it's more of a convenience pick than anything else. I suppose I could do the Poke-Athlon, but I don't think I really need anything from it. You have to either fight this bug catcher or a psychic to get to the mysterious tree that was blocking the way. I will choose to fight the bug catcher, as a guy full of psychic type Pokemon is not the best thing for me to fight, though it's really not as confusion, so I think I'll switch to Rocky will take it out faster. The third Pokemon I get for my team, I have played every Pokemon game except for Legend Z. I haven't picked that up yet. But pretty much every other Pokemon game I've played at some point or another, all the way back to the very first generation. But to this day, HeartGold and Soul Silver remain my favorites. There's a guy there with the Tangela. He's the one who can give you Fire Sting. Using the Squirt Bottle causes the odd tree to attack, because it is in fact a disguised Pseudo-Budo. I'm not a big fan of the Helen games. I feel like there's just too much water. Make sure you save plenty of money for Repel, since you'll be surfing for 80% of the game. But apart from that, I would not say that the Helen games are particularly difficult among the series. You can defeat or catch the Sudowoodo. If you catch it, it will never appear again. If you defeat it, as I did there, then it will appear only when you defeat the Elite Four. And it will keep coming back every time you defeat the Elite Four until you actually catch it. This girl will give you berry pots and some Oran and Pecha berries. You can plant them. I'm not going to plant them now because I'm into the stream soon, and I don't want to open up my computer and the software just to remember to water my berries. So I'll put some down at the start of next stream and hopefully have time to water them. So, having taken out the mysterious tree, we are now able to get back to Violet City without going through Union Cave any further. I am going to take the mail from Kenya because I don't want to lose it when I give it to the guy I was asked to deliver the mail to. Having cut also allows me to navigate some of these early routes a little bit quicker. Mail gets sent to your personal PC. This mail is from Webster. I want to give it to Sandshrew. So as you get more and more gems, I'm at Gym 5. My team is Combuskin, Swallow, Sandshrew, Shroomish, Emu, Electro. That should be a pretty good team. Gym 5 would be Norman, if I'm remembering right. So Combuskin should be particularly helpful for the normal types. That should be a relatively effective team for most of the game, especially once you get their levels up and evolve the other ones. Braylon is a solid Pokemon, as is Blaziken. And I like Swallow, personally. So if it's a Pokemon he doesn't know, he gives you the Pokemon back, and the reward for bringing him the mail is a TM44 for rest. You get all of your HP back and heal any status conditions at the same time, but you sleep for 2 turns. Rest is a very popular move, both competitively and just for strategy. I would say that probably the Noon will not be effective for the entire game, but it should be fine for a little while longer. I would think if you get Swallow, Shroomish, and Electrike caught up a little bit in levels, then you're probably good for a little while. I think Sandshrew evolves at level 22, so if you're using it for actual battles and not just for utility, then I found a revive in the rubble. And there's a hidden hyper potion back there. Yeah, if you get them more or less caught up to Combuskin, you should be good for, I would think, at least the 5th and 6th gyms. I will end the stream when I get into the next city, which is going to require a couple battles. Actually, it will require a double battle right here. You're here at least. It's always nice when someone is around to see the challenge is live. I am double checking this for you because I want to make sure that I'm not getting bad information. Yes, Sandshrew does evolve at level 22. Alright, so they have normal types, which means that most of them should be able to help. I'm glad that you did both of those things. Liking and subscribing helps recommend the streams and videos to more people. Muscle wants to learn Revenge, which is a fighting type move that does more damage the less health you have. It does double damage if you've been hurt earlier in the turn, which is fine, especially because Machop and its evolutions are not particularly fast. I think I'm willing to get rid of the low click for that. Yeah, that is the same option. There's not a lot of Pokemon that are heavy enough to get the most damage out of low kick, and most of them are rock types, so I'll be doing super effective damage to anyway. Alright, I wanted to slow down that table. Locked in. I get hit 5 times by that double shot, and 3 times by that one. I must finish off that table and have Rocky use a headbutt on this one. That should take out both of them on this turn. Each of the... This is not a guaranteed double battle. You can do it if you only have... You can do them one at a time if you only have one Pokemon in your party. But each of them have a... really tough initial table. Yeah, Onyx will not be on my final team, but I'll use it for a while. Later on you can trade for a Steelix. That will replace my Onyx. But then it's a late game trade, so I'll have Onyx for a while yet. Have to battle through just a little bit more grass to get to Aquatique City. And I will find a couple things here. If you come to this house, above the gym... there's nothing there. Wrong house. If you come to this house, to the right of the gym, there's a man in here who will give you the dowsing machine. So, at this point I can use it to find hidden items rather than just needing to know where they are. There are several items here in Aquatique City. And he tells you about Burned Tower specifically because there are many hidden items in there as well. I like to have the dowsing machine as my second item, though I'm not sure how the dowsing machine is going to work on this platform. Because I have to keep it held down to actually, for it to actually show me where the items are. Which means I have to click with my mouse. The dowsing machine is a little, I don't like everything about the dowsing machine in this game, because you have to keep it held down, and anytime you go into a battle, like if you're in Burnt Tower and run into a wild Pokemon, or you walk into one of the trainers, you have to take it back out, which is why I register it, so I can do so faster. I will get all the items sitting here in Aquatique at least. And I won't end the stream quite yet. There's a couple more things I can do here in Aquatique before doing much. So if I come out to the right, is there something hidden here? No, there's not. But there is a TM up here, TM 65 Shadow Claw. If you have If you're worried about fighting the ghost type gym and have a Pokemon that can learn Shadow Claw, that would be a super effective move. This hiker, when he bumps into you, will give you strength, which we can use with the Goldenrod gym badge. I will now go ahead and teach that to Sandshrew. So Sandshrew already has 3 HMs. The 4th HM, it will not kick for a very, very, very long time. I'll just give it one scroll. Sometimes I'll put Headbutt on Sandshrew too if I want a Pokemon. If I don't have a Pokemon that I want to use it on and still want to get things out of Headbutt trees. The other thing I will do before I end today is I will come into the Aquatique Dance Theater. And in the original Generation 2 games, you had to fight all of the Kimono Girls now. But in the remakes, all you have to do is fight this one single rocket grunt. And all he has is a single level 12 combo. So really, you shouldn't have too much trouble. Even though it was just fighting type moves, Muscle should have no trouble doing it. I don't want to use Revenge because I'm faster than the Coffee. And that heightened critical hit chance of Pride and Child coming through when it doesn't matter anymore. I believe my Chopper Ball is at level 25. So we're getting there. So when you leave after defeating that grunt, this gentleman will come and give you Surf. I can't use it until I defeat Morty, so I'm not going to worry about it just yet. And my mom has called me a couple times, which means that there's going to be items at the mart. I got a Repel, and that's all. And very, very last thing for today's stream, if you come into the Pokemon Center, Bill will walk up to the counter. He's the one who developed the system to transfer Pokemon, so now when you check the PC, it will say Bill's PC instead of someone's PC. Also, if you go back to Goldenrod and talk to him, he will give you a Eevee for free. Which is something I do all the time since Jolteon is my favorite Pokemon. Getting the Eevee from him is useful. But we have gotten the first 3 gym badges, 2 members of my party, and made it to Aquatique City. I think that is reasonable progress for one stream. So I'm going to call it here. If you are watching live on Twitch or on YouTube, whether you chatted or lurked, I appreciate you. If you are watching the archive later on YouTube, thank you for checking it out. I hope that however your day is going, it is favorable for you, and I will see you in the next one.